Welcome to part 4 of my DVD collection. Here we continue with M and head off into R. Start off with Mamma Mia. Man of the House. The Marine. Actually a very good action film if you're just into action style films. It's actually pretty decent. Mars Attacks, completely cheesy film, but a lot of fun. The Mask, absolutely hilarious film, just classic humor. The Matador. The Matrix, great film, great sci-fi action film. The Matrix Reloaded, I actually really enjoy. I know it's kind of frowned upon after the greatness of the first film, but I think the second one's just as good. And The Matrix Revolutions, which can get a little complicated at times, but I still find it's a decent film. Max Payne, video game adaptation. Meet the Parents, really funny film. Meet the Fockers, not such a funny film. It's got its moments, but it's not as good as Meet the Parents. Men in Black 2, I'm trying to find the first one on DVD, but it's getting a little difficult, but I really enjoyed the second one. It's got its moments. It's not as good as the first one, but it's got its moments. Miami Vice. Michael Clayton. $1 Million Baby. Great suspense film right here. Mindhunters, really underrated. Definitely check it out if you can find it. It's really hard to find. I was lucky I got a copy. Kiefer Sutherland in Mirrors. The Mist. Really slow film, but the intense moments are really intense. And what a shocker of an ending. Mortal Kombat. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Mr. Brooks. This is another really good thriller kind of suspense film. Definitely check this one out if you haven't already and you like movies that focus on a serial killer or just thrillers in general. Munich. Mystic River. Modern Day Indiana Jones. National Treasure. This is actually a very fun film. I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage, so... and that one's no exception. And then National Treasure 2. Not as good as the first one, but it kept me going enough to enjoy it all the way through, so... Natural Born Killers. This is the director's cut, the way Oliver Stone intended it to be. This is a very bizarre little film. I really don't know how to recommend it. It's very hard to recommend it when I don't even know what kind of genre it is. It's just bizarre. So if you like bizarre films, check it out. The Negotiator. Next, another Nick Cage film that had a great premise, but the ending kind of was for me. Not as bad as Knowing, but yeah, still The Next 3 Days. Nick of Time. Night at the Museum. Ninja Assassin, one of those turn your brain off, watch senseless, violent kind of films. Another Johnny Depp film, The Ninth Gate. No Country for Old Men, another Best Picture winner. This movie had me going until the last 15 minutes. The last 15 minutes of this film was terrible. They just decided to wrap everything up right then and there, and it just I don't know. I've only watched it the once, and that was like 4 years ago. So I got to give it another shot. Number 23, really intense little thriller. The Jim Carrey, Robert Rodriguez film, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. This is the follow-up to Desperado, which is also a really great film. This one's got Johnny Depp. Just a huge cast. Eva Mendes, Danny Trejo, Mickey Rourke, Cheech Marin, Willem Dafoe. Just an all-around great film if you like action films, I guess. It's been a while since I saw that one, too. Orphan. One of my favorite excuse me. One of my favorite films growing up as a kid. Osmosis Jones. This is it's a lot of people really don't seem to like it. I find it absolutely entertaining. I've seen this I don't know how many times when I was a kid. And watching it now older, I pick up on some of the other jokes that I wouldn't have got when I was a kid. Really fun movie. Over the Hedge. Excuse me. Panic Room. This is a 3-disc set. I didn't even know there was a 3-disc set until I found this. Really good thriller. The Pacifier. Paul. A great sci-fi comedy with a lot of throwbacks to old 80s films. Just an absolute blast to watch. Perfect Stranger. Pineapple Express. The remake of The Pink Panther with Steve Martin. This one, it's got moments. It's got some really funny moments. The last line of the movie when I first saw it had me cracking up. The sequel wasn't that great, but this was okay, I guess. Now, moving on to my favorite trilogy of films. Pirates of the Caribbean 1, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Dead Man's Chest, and Pirates of the Caribbean 3, At World's End. These are just great films, great adventures. Jack Sparrow's probably one of the greatest characters to be put on film. I know that the last two movies get really complicated, but what can I say? I still enjoy them. You watch them enough times, you get used to the intricacy of the plot, and it's actually very easy to follow. The Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. Classic 80s action film, Predator, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Predator 2. Predator 2 I heard a lot of bad things about, but I think it's okay. It's not as good as the first one, but it's got moments. Let's just put it that way. It's got moments. More Christopher Nolan right here. The Prestige. This is a great film. Highly recommend this film, especially if you like movies involving magicians. Definitely check that one out. Pride and Glory. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. This was sort of like Disney trying to recreate the magic of the first Pirates of the Caribbean. While it doesn't do that, it's still a very entertaining action film. So yeah, I definitely suggest checking it out. It doesn't really follow the story of the video game, so if you're a big hardcore fan of the video game, you'll probably be disappointed. Public Enemies, the Johnny Depp, John Dillinger film, or where Johnny Depp was John Dillinger. Classic film right here, Pulp Fiction. I recently got to see this a few nights ago on the big screen. Was totally blown away by it. I had seen it previous to it, but yeah, just a great film, great writing, great characters, a lot of fun. This is the 2-disc set right here. Okay. Just a great film. If you're a fan of film and you haven't seen it and you can tolerate R-rated movies, what are you doing? Go see it now. The Punisher, another comic book adapted movie. This is actually a very, very well done film. It's not like a free-for-all gunfight throughout the whole movie, but it's actually a very well done, well executed film. I highly recommend checking that out if you like vigilante style films. Punisher Warzone, on the other hand, was the no holds barred, complete like gunfight all the way through sort of movie. Very violent, very bloody. Not as well put together as the other film, but still a lot of fun if you like action style films. Push, The Quick and the Dead, Racing Stripes, the fourth Rambo film, a lot of fun. Rango, one of my new favorite animated films. The animation to this looks beautiful. The humor is hilarious. Just an all-around great film. I highly recommend it if you didn't get the chance to check it out yet. Ratatouille, Ray, The Recruit, absolutely hilarious film right here. Red, Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, John Malkovich, Helen Mirren, great cast, great action, great humor. Red Eye, fun little thriller from Wes Craven. Reign of Fire, very fun film. Great performance from Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey. Reindeer Games, Resident Evil and Resident Evil Apocalypse. I actually enjoyed these films. I find them to be the kind of turn your brain off zombie action flicks. The second one's probably my favorite one. Just the scale of the second one was up so much from the first one. The acting's not great. They're not that great of films, but they're just they're fun action films. And then Resident Evil Extinction. It's okay. It's not that great. It has its moments. Not really as good as the second one. The way I look at the Resident Evil series is like Final Destination. The first one's pretty fun. Second one's really good. The third one's okay. And the fourth one's terrible. I don't own the fourth one yet. I'm probably going to wind up buying the fourth one someday when it's like $3 or something like that. But as of now, I'm not going to go get it. Resident Evil Degeneration. This should have been the fourth film because this was great. This captured the it's done like the video games. It's all in CG, and it's actually very fun. The story, it's not that great, but it's a Resident Evil story. What do you expect? But yeah, it's actually a very, very fun film. If you're a Resident Evil fan and you've been staying away from the movies because you know that they're not going to keep continuity of the video games, definitely check out Resident Evil Degeneration if you haven't yet, because it's actually very fun. Robert De Niro and Al Pacino starring together in Righteous Kill. It's a very good cop drama style film. Robin Hood. I went into this expecting Gladiator, and even though I didn't get that, it's still a very fun film. It's like 2.5 hours though, isn't it? Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours, but it's definitely well worth your time if you enjoy medieval style films. Robots. And the final film is Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. This was a lot of fun to watch. It's not overly great, but it's a lot of fun. There's some good music to it, and yeah, it's got its moments. It's a fun film. If you like sort of the whole thing where it's like you want to be a rock star and you get that chance and you're living the dream sort of film, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. So that ends part 4, and look forward to part 5 coming soon. Thanks for watching.